check in on community, but I thought we'd do something a little special today, maybe, and also spend, I'm going to set a timer, 2 minutes, 3 minutes today, just when you started with TEC and what the hatch means to you. Let's do that, if you don't mind. And maybe Septimus, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. When I started, I was, just exploring. Everything was new to me, and what make me to stay was like the people. I feel so warm. I'm very welcome, and now I feel like I'm fully involved. Like the hatch, like the Commons of Create. It's going to be an amazing experience. Like it's going to be so cool. And I also wanted to use that time to say I was talking with the Chilling crew, and they were saying like they have some like to the name was feeds, like to I don't know if we can, like the idea is to apply it on the bonding curves to the oracle will say like the price of the token. So yeah, it's for security reasons, but maybe Griff can explain better, like if he knows. But I couldn't speak to Sam yet because he's still on vacation.
I don't understand. Zep, can you say it again?
Okay, yeah, I was talking with the Chailing. I meet them on the HCC, and then we did a video chat last Friday. And yeah, the only thing they offer on XDAI, it's like oracles for the in this case would be for the XDAI TC price. And yeah, the idea is like not to have rock pools and stuff like that, like just to prevent. And it's actually free, like then sponsorships and blah blah blah. It's $200, but it's not necessary. Like the free version of the token, you don't have support from Chilling, but you still have like all the features. And yeah, I wanted to also talk with Sam, but I couldn't yet.
Can you drop a link in the Stewards channel?
No, I don't have a link, but I will.
Okay, cool.
And I'll pass it to Nate.
Thanks. Yeah. I can't even remember when I first started at TEC. Like it's kind of like a time blur. But it's been amazing. And so getting to this point was like, just theoretical for such a long time. And, now that we're here and it's happened, it's kind of just this amazing moment for us. And what it means to me is, just the fact that, we have this commitment by these community members who all have this kind of shared mission and value and this desire to like learn about how to get this done, how to do this responsibly, ethically, and sustainably. And do this on behalf of like future communities and future commons is so important. And so it's a big reason why I started to participate and why I wanted to join. And now that we're here and we're putting it into action and it's being executed, it's like it's amazing. And so congratulations to everybody. But yeah, I wanted to pass it to Wonka.
Thanks, Nate. I started with the idea of, with the big idea and the big purpose of trying to make better systems. And I think that that's the same goal and the same motivation that I have right now. I want to make better systems. And I feel that we are doing it. And we are passing for what we're doing is not easy, but we are adventuring and we are being brave to propose new alternatives and try to make a good impact for our communities. And for me, it's really big, because I feel that we have been doing it from a very conscious way, and yeah, I think it's great, and I really wish that this project succeeds in all the things that we'll face in the short, medium, and long term. And yeah, I'm super excited. I pass it to Suga.
Thank you, Blanca. Yeah, well, total newbie at the beginning and not knowing what I was getting into, but discovering right away the alignment with everything, all the philosophy, all of that aligning with me personally so profoundly. And now just like running around and sharing about the TEC with everybody. Like I was just explaining in the AMA, because I've been traveling for a bunch of weeks, and it's like everybody I see, I'm talking about the TEC, leaving them stickers when we leave their house and stuff like that. I mean, just talking to like my sister-in-law or the neighbors, and they're like, what the heck, what does that mean, token engineering? Let me tell you, this is the future. You got to learn about this. Really, it's been amazing. And I have to say, one of the highlights this summer, well, how do I structure this? Going through all the heaviness that we did with the praise analysis, and that was heavy and emotional and all of that, and sort of pairing that in my mind, like Sam's resignation, I don't know what to call it, and then a week or two later, dancing with Sam, like just dancing on the top of the only high-rise in downtown Paris. Yeah, that sums it up. That was just really awesome. Dancing with Sam is like my highlight. So that's where I'm at. I'm holding on to that feeling for as long as possible. And so the hatch, like I just learned about the meeting the minimum, and I'm so excited about that. I'm gonna go running in the streets. Dancing in the streets. I will pass to Griff.
Yeah, I mean, so happy to reach the minimum goal. I did the same thing, Nate. It's like that meme. I was so excited about that meme. I feel like that meme was like strong manifestation. You know, it's like, okay, like putting that moment in our heads so we could really create that reality. Although I never doubted that we'd make the main goal, so that's good. But so the original question was like, what were you thinking when you first got into the token engineering commons, and then how do you feel now, right? Tam, was that the original question?
Specifically, when did you get in, and like when did you start, and what does the hatch mean to you? But answer whatever question you feel like answering.
That's true. Well, the hatch means a lot to me, obviously, but I'll go to the first part, which is like when we first started this. So, well, what do you know? I first started this a long time ago. It was in February. It was I remember I was in Thailand with Jeff. Jeff sent me maybe we'll even go back further. In October of 2018, I had gone back from Burning Man. I opened up the old DAO Slack, and I found someone messaged me in July. Oh, hi. So I hadn't seen this message in 2 months, and it was a blog post that Jeff wrote. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Rewriting the history of human coordination, I think is the name of the post. And we reposted it on Giveth and Common Stack. And so you could say that was the beginning. It's like, I want to build these for public goods. You know, I want to build these for nonprofits, these economies, these micro economies around public goods. And then I had met Zargum at a conference in Switzerland or something. And he was like kind of annoying, but like clearly the smartest guy in the room. And so I was like, okay, like I like you. And so we went to DevCon in October in Prague, and first time I met Jeff actually in person. I was like, Jeff, here's the thing. I just want you to stick to Zargum. Just go hang out with Z, like go talk to him, and let's figure out what the hell is going on in this guy's brain. You know, so I didn't really have a name for token engineering at the time, but it became getting Jeff to talk to Zargum, and they became good friends. And he started just having like weekly calls and writing stuff down and just doing research with Z. And then, Z he was building CAD, and he was like, hey, we want, I need money to keep going with CAD. It was bear market. I was like, dude, you know what you got to do? You got to make a token. And this was Jeff and I were in Thailand with some of the rest of the Giveth crew, and we had this call with Z, and this was probably when we first coined the words token engineering commons. And we were just like, let's make it doesn't have to be just about CAD. I understand block science doesn't want its own token. Maybe we can just make a token about like advancing the token engineering field in general. I don't think we had those perfect words, of course, but and CAD could get funding from this token economy. And so we kind of like were batting that back and forth. And that eventually spun out of control with scope creep to become the common stack, because that was what we wanted to do, right? Or at least what I wanted to do, which is like build these economies around charitable goods in general. And the token engineering commons would be our first one, because we need to advance token engineering so any of it will work. And so starting January of that year, we started working towards that project. We didn't actually launch the common stack until July of that year, and then with a bunch of people who are barely with it anymore. Like it's been quite the adventure of like, how do we get the common stack off the ground and the token engineering commons going? But we always had the token engineering commons strategically as our first step, and then really Livia and I probably were the first to start working on the token engineering commons. It was like, I guess post Burning Man, it was one of those things. It's like, okay, every year everything pauses for me until after Burning Man. There's this moment, and then it's like, okay, refresh. What do we want to work on? And Livia reached out, and I don't even know how we found out that you were free. Maybe we saw the Genesis DAO explode or something, and it was just like, oh yeah, hey, you should work with us. We want to do this token engineering commons thing. Can you just like full time like lead this, and I'll like half time like work with you on it? And she said yes magically, and then the token engineering commons was born. And to get to this point with the hatch is just wild. I feel like we didn't compromise. There were lots of opportunities to compromise, even during the hatch when Angela's like, but let's make it easy for VCs to come in and all this stuff. Like, no, trusted seed, good people holding tokens is going to give us this long-term, huge long-term benefit. So, to see the hatch, like I think Zeptimus coined this in the praise debates, like having like a very trusted hatch is going to be so huge for us, and I think we did that well. Like, if you look at the top contributors, these are all token engineers. They're all token engineers, and it's amazing to have them there. It really is. Some of the biggest rock stars are our biggest supporters. So, it's just too good. I couldn't be more ecstatic about this. I'll pass it to Livia.
Sorry, I think something fell in my eye here. Yeah, I think how everything started for me was very like, I didn't even see it coming. I think it was like a synergy of many things, of just reaching out to the common stack, and then meeting Griff in a random call. I think Grace was hosting a call that I like never used to go, and I think you didn't either. And then we were in that call that day, and we just started talking, and then the next thing is like, starting to plan a lot of things. And I think for me at that time, it felt like really based on, I think I thought I knew what I was talking about, but then now I see that it was just like purely intuition, or like guessing things that end up like building into each other and grabbing
expertise from so many people and adding to this like magic potion that end up becoming the cultural build. And I think the meaning of this hatch is really the power of collaboration. And this like makes me feel so emotional because it's like, I think we're always told that this doesn't work, right? That collaborating doesn't work, that slows things down, that that competition is always the easiest way, and that it's been working, and it's clearly not been working. And I think it's really valuable to find people that see that like in front of their eyes and don't want to keep putting up with the bullshit of the world that we live in, and want to build new systems and want to do that in a kind way and in a loving way and in a warm way and in a way that feels like a family. And the TEC really feels like a family. And I think this is the biggest this is the biggest thing. This is the real value of building an economy based on love and on gratitude. And we should all be like really, really proud of ourselves. And I'm really happy with this hatch, and of course with all the work that Griff put into it, and all of us put into it, but especially Griff. I think like you have a superpower that just pushes you forward, and I really admire that, and I'm grateful that you pulled me in this adventure. And here we go for much, much more. And I'll pass to you, Tam.
I don't want to go after you. Like, what am I going to say now? Everything that Livia said. So I started last November, and I don't even know how I found out about the Common Stack. I think I saw a job posting on somebody that I follow on Twitter, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. And I went to their website and I was like, what even is it? And then the more that I started reading some of Jeff's articles, I started watching some videos of Griff, and I started paying attention a little more, and I was like struck by thunder. And so I sent a really I don't know, egotistical letter. I was like, you guys can just stop. You found your program manager. Like, don't waste your time anymore. Like, just here I am. And then I had a call with Griff, and it was like, yeah, of course, this is the right fit. And it feels really good and it feels really right. And I just feel like I was so blessed to have found this group. And through Common Stack, of course, the TEC. And honestly, everything that Livia said, you know, the awesome achievement of bootstrapping a small economy through like gratitude and appreciation and you know, I don't know, I want to say the word ethics, you know, like really core values of how we behave with each other and interact with each other. And it's just so fucking touching. Sorry. And it's just very touching. So I just feel so privileged to even be a part of this. And what the hatch means to me, I mean, it's a huge milestone. It's like something that I think actually is like historical. It's like this first Commons DAO. Like this is there'll be so many more from here, and we got to experience the first one. And I will pass to Santi.
Thank you, Tam. I just don't remember when I joined. All I know is I had this image of Griff, Livy, Angela, and Jess asking me what the hell I wanted to do, and I didn't even know what the hell I was doing on that meeting. I think it was a sum of serendipity. I remember a few days before jumping into Token Engineering Telegram, not understanding any shit of the conversation around there. But I wanted to get into token engineering. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn how to, launch an economy, launch a token and all that. And I ended up in that meeting. And from there, it was just getting really deep in the very beginning because I wanted to try to suck absolutely everything I could and enjoy. And I like creating things. And this is the very first time I don't give a shit about the money when I'm participating into something. And that's the beauty of it. Of course, we've achieved a great milestone. If we would have not, it would have been sad. But just the amount of knowledge that we have created just reaching that milestone is incredible. It's just amazing. And the experience and the group and the discussions, and it's just unbelievable. Meeting in Paris was beautiful. Being able to chat with every one of you and meet you personally was great. I think it was probably the culmination, matching both the personal meeting and the Hatch launch was great. And so to me, it means just the beginning of something which is going to be awesome to live. I don't know if it's going to be huge, if it's going to be how many times we might be able to replicate that, but just whatever we have achieved, to me, it's awesome, it's amazing, and it's worth every single second that I've spent during these past months. That's all I can say. I'll pass it to Eduardo.
Gracias, Santi. In my case, it was a funny thing. I saw Sam's doing conviction voting talk on radical exchange that we hosted. I hosted that event in Akasha, but I didn't have zero clue about conviction voting. I had zero clue what it was about. And it took me 2 hours to understand what Sam was talking, and took me a lot of Googling to understand what he was saying. And then at the same time, I saw a tweet about the position opening. And then I sent an email, and then it went to Griff spam. And 2 months later, I write to Griff, and I'm like, why are you asking for the same position? You didn't even reply to my email. And he's like, what email? And here I am. So it was fun. It has always been fun. And I think that the spirit of the way that I met these tools, in this case, conviction voting, is what has been keeping me on this space, which is this, what's going to happen tomorrow? Or this is a new tool, or this is a new project, or this is, so it's a very interesting kind of driven. I have never found a community that it's so driven based on innovation and so driven based on community sense and empathy and a bunch of values. So I don't know. I think that the Hatch is just one of these milestones that validate things that we thought at certain moment that they were very abstract and very conceptual. Like cultural build and like all this stuff seemed very conceptual. You could repeat it 100 times on the onboarding sessions. You could have said it a bunch of times. But then this kind of milestone serves a purpose for me, at least, to be like, oh, this validate the work that the community has pulled out. So it doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. This is for us, and this is this is a validation. And I think everyone should take a moment to sort of just reflect on, if they want, of course, appreciate the fact that your little, big, small contribution, it has been validated. And that's something very powerful for me. And with that, I will pass it on to Juanca.
I think I already went.
Turkados.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
you
we-
joined a little late, but I guess you got the idea. The question was, okay.
So, what's leading up to the Hatch, or how do we feel about the Hatch, and how did we get here? So, for me, the Hatch is just a part of the evolution. I don't understand the vast majority of what happens here, but I care deeply about the people in this group, and that's all that matters to me. And so, as far as what the Hatch means and the money and all, that's great. Side effect, awesome. Maybe it'll change my life. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I don't care about any of that. What I really care about is the people, and the other thing is that what I kind of dreamed of meeting all of you people when I first built my building, and then suddenly Sean, YGG Anderson, showed up, gave a presentation on cryptocurrency, which I'd never had anything to do with and heard of, but then he was at the end said, "Oh, by the way, we need a business manager." I'm like, "Hey, maybe I could be the business manager." But before I did that, I wanted to see if I had anything to add to that group. Did I had any? Do I have anything that I have to say that could contribute in any way to anybody in this space? And first thing I looked up was the word token engineering, and Token Engineering Commons has a Discord, and so I just joined the Discord. Listened to a few things in the philosophy channel. Sebnem said, "Oh yeah," and she engaged me, and then next thing you know, I'm able to contribute more and more, and here we are. So yeah, it's been amazing. I don't necessarily have the same sort of I don't know. I just, because I'm all about looking at this shadow of everything. I like to sort of take the good with the bad and see it all one thing. But yeah, it's an amazing group of people, and it's the people that have shined in terms of the time that I've spent here and everything. And what you guys have done for me is validated it's okay to be the way that I am, which is to say, being on the spectrum, thinking with complexity, thinking, in this sort of beautiful mind kind of way that I have about various things, and that there are other people who think like that, and I didn't know any of those people before, so thank you guys for sort of validating that for me. So I don't know who comes next.
And Zeptimus, you're up next. Thank you, Jagadas. That was quite beautiful to hear.
I was the first one though.
You're muted, Tam.
You're muted.
Then I think we got everyone actually. Cool. Okay. So we did more of like a reminiscence and a community check, which I think is okay too. Let's check on some of the things we do every week before we go into the working group updates. Spotlight for tomorrow. How are we doing? Do we have
I got a soft commit waiting for a hard commit from Peppo with the underscore protocol. So yeah. So got a couple others floating in the works too. But yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have any ideas in case the soft commit doesn't come through? Okay. All right. If you have any ideas, pass them to Nate. And Nate, if you find they don't commit, can you just drop something in the Stewards channel so we can sort of help find round up a project?
I will give you confirmation by the end of the day.
I think Livy was saying like for this week maybe Governance will be ready. Maybe they don't, but just in case it missed, I don't know. Maybe Livy can update on that.
Yeah, we have the Governance presentation on Friday. So for next week, we would definitely have like a ready presentation that it would be a no-brainer for anyone. But if it's like last case, maybe we can do tomorrow. Otherwise, you can put it down for next week.
Okay, cool. All right. All right, and blog post next week. Katie, I guess, well, maybe I guess Saturday will be officially the final hatch raise. So that obviously would go in. Anything else we want to share in the blog post? And Katie, can you just confirm that it's going to be okay? You'll be able to do it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. From where you are. Cool. Anything else we want to put in there? Thoughts, ideas?
Engagement with the gravity course, like get people
Yeah.
ready. I think that's Yeah, and people normally get super excited about those courses.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I can share with Katie some of the designs that Acid Laser has been doing. That they are great, and they like present the ideas that we have been developing in Gravity in a very like TEC narrative and design. So it looks very, very well.
Cool, beautiful. Anything else? Sorry, I feel like since I've been on vacation a little, I'm not quite able to grasp all the things.
So Chewy's not there, but there's that video, the animated video, I guess, which wasn't included last time because I think he wasn't done. I don't know if that's something to include.
Oh yeah, and the unconference video. That wasn't in last week, right? Or last one.
No. Okay.
The animated video is really for the hatch though, right?
Yeah, okay.
A conference. I don't remember what it's called. It's called a wrap-up video or something. Sorry. And the animated video, isn't that one just for the hatch specifically? The one that's on the...
Yeah, never mind. That's okay.
When you speak on the unconference video, it would be also nice to link with the forum posts that are from the unconference that are in the forum.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool, very good idea. Okay, so there's these three for now. Maybe if we don't do it before Wednesday, the Hatcher Outreach Working Group is going to have a little party on Wednesday where we normally have the Hatcher Outreach Group. That might be worth mentioning. So maybe not for this audience. We could see if we want to cut that or not.
Okay.
It could be a little hatch party, like for all of the people that were contacted, participated in the hatch.
It is open to everyone. It is a hatch party. It's sort of like, we did it, yay. Maybe sharing some tidbits. Eduardo is still working on the format with some feedback for me, though I'm not a great party planner, so really leaning on Eduardo to party plan.
But yeah, we have a poster made by Acid Laser. It should be ready by tomorrow morning, so we can add it to the blog post also if needed. But yeah, it's
Okay,
open.
great, cool. That would be great to throw in.
You can
right.
also add the participation NFT that we created to give away to all the participants, not just the top 10 that will get the nice NFT.
And yeah, we want to make sure you get credit, and who should get credit for that? Definitely a generous gift by you and the artist.
Funnyverse, I will just post it. If you, I think, yeah, just Funnyverse, like Metaverse, but Funnyverse. Just
yeah. I know it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what you should get credit to. It's an account that I've created with the creator because the creator doesn't want to appear at all. So I'm taking care of that.
Okay, cool. All right, excellent. All right, so moving on. So the weekly update, I think we missed the week because Katie had extenuating circumstances running from a forest fire. But this week we'll probably do it. And it's sort of like just the call is, it's super easy for her to put it together quickly if we update our community slides with basically the text or close to the text that you want to go into the update for your working group. It just makes it so much easier for her. And oh yeah, hey. Okay, cool. Nate did the sprint planning and I watched the video and I think you guys did so awesome. So I would just like to formally give Nate a round of applause for a very cool sprint planning. I watched it. It was great. And thank you to Septimus for making them
So rough.
available.
That sound was the greatest. It was a thank you. I guess that was a thank you sound, right?
That's right.
It was a sound you were making when you had COVID.
I hope not, man. That's terrible. But yeah, thank you. I couldn't have done it without watching several videos of Tam doing it perfectly over and over again.
Yeah, doing it okay. But you did great. Very, very cool. And so maybe we take a few minutes now. I will open our board and we'll go through the working groups and we can sort of give some updates. I don't know that there's going to be too many updates, but I'm definitely looking forward to hearing them. Let's start with transparency. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, let's go. I've been working on the rules for admins. Like it's almost done. Nate is going to do like last review for the Medium because I was like I really don't know Medium and I just was putting like where I know, but Nate is going to fill it up and yeah I'll check it again and it's going to be ready for review for SoftGov or Gravity. And then the next thing I have also on the plate for transparency is I'm working on the advice process, like how to make the system more robust. And there is a couple of issues in there, like one was working on the putting a slide on the community call so we can announce it like this is for get more engagement, but also like the idea is like on the last for the credentials management, like have I should contact Tam for being the stewards of the stewards and Griff for the common swarm and the params and Chui for the comms, like just to get some advice. Talk with you guys and gather some feedback, and then I should introduce that on the advice process and explain. And yeah, just improving that. And Ivy is working on also like these rules, like we want to have it on a document, like the process, like we more or less drafted it on the forum post, but have it more formally, and Ivy is working on that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Also I was talking with YTG and Solsista just answer me now. I don't know what she's saying, but for the audits for those two working groups, so it's and YTG told me like he already have some kind of roadmap, so it's good. Like yeah, he's on vacations until 14, but yeah, it seems those audits are going to come soon. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. I love the output for the advice process is like a forum post. The guidance is going to be something that we can sort of refer to for like, especially onboarding. Actually, is where I was thinking it's really important.
Yeah, I mean the idea at first was on the voting process. Like I made a comment, like I will reach these people and then I'll come back with information. And yeah, also like rewriting some of the like I was with Livy on one-on-one call, like on the template for the advice process. Like yeah, just remodel it and also on the bigger one. I don't know who's the name, but yeah, have it more specified, like the process. And yeah, the idea is also not to be very bureaucratic, but yeah, just make it more robust.
Okay, and if I understand, it's basically going to be part of our handbook, a forum post, part of the onboarding tools, sort of like here's how you can employ advice process, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I was thinking more on the Gitbook, but
Okay.
we can. I mean, the idea is like we reach the wider community, so yeah, put it like everywhere, like actually, like some people look the forum, so people look YouTube, like yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's very helpful. Cool. Something Ivy brought up today, it doesn't really fit into any working group, and we thought maybe we could check with Katie and onboarding team and see if there was a contributor that you thought would match for this. But there have been some of our content translated into Chinese, and somebody's offered to translate it into Turkish, and I know that somebody's offered to translate it into French and to Spanish. So it's sort of starting to seem like, okay, this is maybe a good piece of work for a contributor who wants to get involved but doesn't necessarily know a good place. It seems like a nice piece of independent work that they can help select the articles that should be translated and then make sure that comms team is able to promote those articles to where those the language speakers are. Right now, it doesn't really have a champion. Ivy offered to do it if we don't have somebody else, but I thought it's a nice piece of work for a contributor who wants to do something but doesn't know exactly what yet to sort of lead that initiative or champion that.
This did come up I don't know, maybe a month or so in comms. Remember, Wonka, we were talking about Spanish. So I'm not sure what came of that. We were just focusing initially on Spanish, and I was suggesting we did have other languages we could do, but maybe one step at a time. Do you have any updates on that?
No, only the conversation we had that day, but from the experience that we have had on translations, I think that now that we have that we will launch, maybe we can pass a proposal to have like small bounties for translation. And in that way, we can promote participation from a lot of contributors. And yeah, like small bounties for each language or for translating certain content. And that way we can have contributors doing that without us like overloading what we already have in our plates.
Okay, so Tam, you're asking for someone to kind of coordinate that, I guess, coordinate translation with new contributors or something like that.
Well, at least the 4 languages that we already have people willing to translate, what would be helpful is if they know what pieces are the best pieces to translate. So even if we do proposals for bounties, which I think is a phenomenal idea, just someone who could sort of write those proposals and, get them through. Just, I don't know, like in my mind, I was like, oh, that sounds like a subgroup or another working group or just like helping do, translations or multi-language or something like that. But it feels like a piece of work that somebody doesn't need to be intimate with the TEC to actually do. It's something that somebody very new to the TEC who just wants to help coordinate some way might be able to take on their own.
Okay, yeah, I can explore that.
Cool. Do you want to give any updates on onboarding, if there are any?
Well, forest fires. I wasn't there last week, so Livia, do we have any? We were there today, so I was there today, but beyond that, do we have any? Is there anything extra? Is there anything we can expand on, Nate?
Yeah, actually, there is like a role for the onboarding crew, and I added Tam. It's Edu. I would say Katie, Nico, Anna Marie, Nate, and and it's like a new role on the TC. And it's like the idea is like when you are reaching out to people, like they know like you are you, right? And it's not like some scammer or whatever. And it was an idea from Anna Marie.
I remember seeing that now. Did you say Nico? Because it's Nick. Is it actually Nick? Hopefully, NIC.
Yeah, it's Nick. Sorry for that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, and just something else we thought about was how to introduce like Zen Hub onboarding into that first call, because then people can jump into issues like as soon as they join and see what's going on.
Yeah, and before these complicated couple of weeks, I was chatting with Vi about doing a Zen Hub video, which hasn't happened yet, but that's still on the radar.
Yeah, I could help with that. Send a video.
The only other follow-up for onboarding is and we already did an onboarding or outreach to people who access the server during Paris, and yeah, so I don't know if I think she was sending them towards a specific call, so probably there is a follow-up there needed. That was the reason why I sent you the message the day, but you were, I don't know, never mind. I forgot to update you on that.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Okay, cool. Livia, would you like to share some updates about SoftGov?
Yeah. So the reward, let me see, sprint backlog. Okay, so the covenant is just waiting for legal Sean review. And then as soon as that's done, we can propose it to the community. Okay, I see my board is a little unorganized. I thought, like, I spent so much time here, but then it didn't work so well. But there is this working group funding proposal for like anyone that wants to grab it, but then that's not working so well too, that people just come and take something. And then the praise system development, I
didn't fully understand the working group proposal. Why isn't it working?
No, just because I was thinking like, oh, I'll leave some issues like empty with no owner, so someone can jump in and take them. But then, I don't know, that didn't work. I think more engagement needs to happen for that. But it's just an in-process something. So this can stay actually in the product backlog for, it doesn't need to happen right now. And I started to talk to Beth about like, how could we explore Gnosis Safe for all of the working groups if people were interested, and what are some tips that they have already from people that have been using. And we entered this interesting conversation about our multi-sigs DAOs and what is the difference between a DAO and a multi-sig, and what is that space in between, and what are some things that we need to address there. So there's some interesting conversation happening. And then the praise system development. So I proposed this for the common stack to like start a working group on reward systems in general. And then that would involve the praise system as a product of the common stack. And that development will impact the TEC, of course. So I'm having a call with Octopus right after this call now for us to create the scope of this working group and how we're going to work and what is needed for that to happen. And then this involves this reward system proposal template. So after the hatch, how are people gonna ask for like funds for praise and for source cred and stuff, and having a template for that will be useful. But I think that will only come after this discussion of the praise development works. And And then there's this Zap. I actually wanted to check with you on this one, creating rules for every platform.
Yeah, actually, it's where I've been working those last days, and Nate is going to help me with Medium. That's the last platform we're missing. I put it's something there, but still, like, I don't use Medium, so I'm not fully aware of the features. And yeah, the idea is, like, by tomorrow I'll read them all, and yeah, it's going to be ready for review for SoftGo or Gravity. Like, the idea is, like, yeah, we started the draft on transparency, but we should get, like, a consensus around working groups, maybe legal too. I don't know.
Are you using the agreements that we had? Remember, like, we worked for a long time on those agreements that we made collaboratively. What are the things each platform, like, what are the required, forbidden, allowed?
Yeah, I'm following this model, but just for admins, like, not for regular users. It's just for admins.
Oh, just for admins. Oh, okay. So maybe we should specify here. Just for admins. Okay, that's cool. Thanks for clarifying. And then Nate, do you have updates on the boardroom?
Yeah, so the boardroom hackathon is going to start on the 17th. M. Hauser, myself, Mateo, Manu, and a couple of people I'm talking to through Gitcoin. I'm trying to assemble a team for it, and the idea is to hack on a system for multiple multisigs for a single instance of Snapshot, to provide a method for funding our working groups. And so yeah, right now that's the plan, and if anybody's interested in helping with that, let me know, and we're gonna assemble a team and talk it out. So I will try to update. I'll actually add it to the board and try to update everybody on meeting time, because we are going to establish a meeting time here in the next couple of days. So yeah.
I realize
Cool.
we're short on time, so maybe we can move on.
Yeah, I just want to say also feel free to add it to the TEC calendar. So I don't know if you want to keep it open for anyone to join.
No, definitely. I mean, this is my first hackathon, so I'm kind of like just really excited to be a part of it and like just explore how it works and see if I can get a group of developers together to collaborate on a common cause. So that'll be interesting.
Cool. All right. Yeah, and we can move on. I'm super excited to know about parameters.
Yeah,
And
so
we'll look
params. Yeah, so I can give both the params and comments form updates in like hopefully 3 minutes. Params is going really swimmingly. We started working on the front end. We have Fabio and Pedro, which is one of Fabio's friends and Vitor's friends that they've worked with before. They're going to hold down the front end. Vitor is taking on project management, and with Nuggin helping him on the back end as well. So they'll be like the back end team. Marco's got designs, thanks to Mount Manu's awesome user testing work. We have the designs for the token freeze and token thaw validated, as well as, and so that's like the first module that we're going to try to get complete. And it looks like it's possible to get it complete by the end of the week. So I really was trying to push to get it done, like before the hatch was over. But the end of next week, for sure, we'll have like a first very nice clickable prototype that will match the designs that Marco made. The designs that Marco made are just really nice, and really nice things take time on the front end to copy. So, shit. Because I was like, well, maybe we should just get something ugly out. And they were like, screw you, Griff. Mutiny. Not happening. We're not producing ugly shit again. Okay, fine. I don't have the same eye for aesthetics. But yeah, so that should happen. We're going to have it in like 6 milestones so that we have like something to show people on a weekly basis, where we have the token freeze, token thaw, clickable, playable. They'll be able to play with it on a website. hopefully next week, if not, yeah, really soon. And then after that, they'll focus on the learning piece. There's just a lot of text and a lot of pieces, so it takes a lot of time. So that'll be the next milestone, is the intro, and then the learning, and then they'll probably start doing, I'm guessing, conviction voting and disputable voting, and we'll leave the bonding curve for the last because I think it's going to be the hardest to get validated. Okay, so that's parameters, but we have the team going, Vitor's managing it, and it's happening. The Common Swarm, we got the package together for Brett. He hasn't responded that he's seen it yet, but at least it's out of Sem's hands and into Brett's hands. That's a major milestone. We also are officially calling everything the bonding augmented bonding curve, which is cool, instead of the Bancor Marketplace app. So we got the good Common Stack branding coming through, and Sem is on vacation this week. Paulo is also basically on vacation the next 2 weeks, so we're going to be a little slow on the smart contract side. And it's a little scary, honestly. The Common Swarm is losing some momentum. But luckily, Params is way behind, and the Common Swarm is basically done. We just need to get some test deployments on that's right. So there's something wrong with Rinkeby and some of the tooling we want to use. So we'll probably end up doing all of our test deployments on XDAI, and which is fine. So we're kind of blocked by Gardens. With Common Swarm, Gabby and the Gardens team are deploying Commons for Giveth and a bunch of other groups, but they haven't got everything working on XDAI yet. So we're blocked either by them getting that ready on XDAI or us getting EVM CRISPR working on Rinkeby. And because everyone's on vacation, I think we're just going to wait for Gabby to get it going. And we don't need EVM CRISPR working on Rinkeby, so it'd kind of be wasted work. So that's the status. Common Swarm is probably not going to make much progress in the next 2 weeks. And I'll pass it to Cam. They were at the top of the hour.
Yeah, we are at the top of the hour. So I'm sorry we didn't get to go through everyone, legal, gravity, hatch outreach. I promise next time. It's so great to see everyone. I give you all a big hug. And I'll see you at our next meeting.